What's up, Magic Community? This is Chris from Legendary Mana. And this is a message to the community, to all content creators, and people who want to see this community grow and do well. And to sort of address some opinions of my own or thoughts on the situation and sort of things that have been happening around the community in the past 5 days, 4 to 5 days. I also want to first and foremost say that this video is not in support of or in defense of or defending of any person of any sort, because I think in the aspect of what has been happening, I'm the furthest from the context of anything that's being talked about today. I don't know Jeremy personally. I've met him once briefly, as well as had him on the channel. If you guys have seen any of my videos on the channel, I've had him on the channel once. And my interactions with Jeremy from Unsleeved Media or MTG headquarters has been very positive. I have not had any negative experience with Jeremy. I don't know Brian personally. I have had one small sort of interaction with Brian at Tulare Community College on Twitter, and that was basically to sort of alert him of a video that I was watching didn't have an ad on it. And it turned out I just got lucky. But and I've had one interaction with Wedge at the Mana Source. I just joked with them when I just had a funny little comment with him on at GP Vegas. And whether he took that as me just kidding around with him or not, that is up for the interpretation. Although for me, it was more or less a ha 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 moment. At any rate, I wanted to just say I don't know any of these people, or even Sprinkles for that matter, personally, nor have I spent any time with any of them. So my opinions are more on the bias of what I feel about the situation and the things that have transpired. I think one of the things that I can say is I didn't partake really in the conversation as a whole, again, in support of or defending anyone. I primarily stayed out of this because, let's face it, I don't know the situation, and it seems like some of these sort of situations that are being talked about are things that have happened either behind the scenes or in personal situations or personal run-ins, or something that's not necessarily documented fully on the web to sort of refer to, like, for instance, a dictionary or a encyclopedia or something that has solid information that has all sides recorded. So for me to participate in any of that would net zero positive communication in regards to talking to them or speaking out about any of it. In fact, anything I have to say would also likely breed more negative conversation, which negative and negative just equals more negative. No positive can come from negative conversation or confrontation of any sort. Nothing happens. That's good. You know, I think of it this way on a simplistic aspect. Negative reviews on a product or service or company travels way faster than positive interactions. That's just the nature of it. People will resonate and be full arm charge to defend or to be on the fence or really get into the conversation when there's negative information or negative topic arguments happening. Negatives breed negatives, plain and simple. So if I can't add anything positive to the specific conversation, I'll stay out. This, I hope, will provide a positive impact on the community. And here's the reason why. I started this channel, I don't know, probably I think 8 or 9 months ago now. I think we just hit 500 subscribers, and we're about to hit 100 videos, finally. And, our channel is small, and growing at a very slow but manageable pace. And if anybody has seen my videos that I've started when I started this channel, this channel is about fostering inclusion of any and every person who wants to help contribute. That's why I don't fear having all different viewpoints on my channel. For instance, Jeremy at Unsleeved Media. We differ on views. We differ in thought. We differ on what you would possibly say is political framework within the community, and that's fine. As adults, I think we have the opportunity and ability to have those separate opinions and not be sort of angry at each other or lash out at each other or have issues with each other. Some people would shy away from it, and that's fine too. I think everybody has their own way of dealing with things, or they have their own way of being a part of a community. There it be whether you try to include as many people as you want or exclude people that you don't want. And I would love to have the Manosaurus join the podcast. I think Wedge is great when it comes to the content that he creates, and I have zero issues with Wedge. Same thing with Brian at Solarian Community College. In fact, I'll have to say it this way. When I started a channel, and when I started, the people that I looked to draw inspiration from, the people that I sort of thought as my, I guess inspiration, as I was just mentioning, was Jeremy, Desolator, Magic, Rogue, Kevin at Rogue Deck Builder, Wedge at the Manosaurus, and Brian at Clearing Community College. I mean, you know, these all subscribers aside, meaning how many subscribers they have, how many views they have, how many followers they have, to me, that does not matter. Never mattered to me. And it was more or less, do I like your content, or do I find your content interesting? You don't even always have to like content. You know, I think about it this way. I watch the news. I don't like it. I watch Meet the Press. I don't like everything that they say on there either. But I'll tell you what, I learned something. I know something, or sorry, I watched something. I may contest it, but at the same time, I've learned something. You never have to agree with everybody. Don't ever think that you have to side with one person or the other in order to be accepted, in order to be part of a group. I think that is kind of not a good direction to take as a human being, because if you view yourself as a one-channel mind, sometimes, you know, lines then get blurred, and then you then have to decide which direction to choose. Do I choose to go this direction, or do I choose to go in that direction? And I know I'm rambling, and that's fine. You probably clicked off the video. Most people have by now, and that's okay too. But I think, you know, one of the things I think about is this is a game, and it's really not that serious. And I also think that we have words floating around this past week, and ideas and hurtful things flying around that I think is almost unnecessary. I think there's ways to deal with things rather than saying words like harassment, bullying, or attacking. You know, I think in the context of saying, well, this person is harassing me, or I'm being bullied, or they're attacking me, those are really strong words. Those are really strong, you know, positions to take. I think about the word of harassment, especially going on in, you know, the entertainment news right now of, you know, the Weinstein, you know, and I'm not going to name all the names, but, you know, sexual harassment there, and this and that and the other thing. Those are serious issues, and serious problems that need to be addressed. I think being inappropriate, there be hurtful, and oftentimes can never find a common ground to agree on. Hurtful words in any direction, whether it's in defense of or on the opinionated side of things, hurtful words don't help anyone. In fact, going back to my earlier statement, negative breeds negative. If you bring a negative into a situation and you expect to get positive results, you're not going to get them. Especially in the world today where we are making videos and reaching thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Whether, again, results in a negative or a positive, I would almost have to gamble to say that no matter what, a negative thought, negative opinion that is directed at a certain group of people, person, or community can only result in more negative results. There's this, there's whole, that the whole saying of eye for an eye. You punch me in the face, I'll punch you back harder. And that happens. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I think that sucks, because that's a negative. But if somebody pats you on the back, somebody shakes you in the hand, those kind of things, those are positive. Now, I'm not saying that negative words need to pat on the back or shake in the hand. No, those negative words should never even enter the equation, is what I'm saying. And again, I'm not going to go into specifics, but it's more about trying to lead a positive narrative within our community. I think us as creators, us as people who have kids to adults, yes, kids. We're talking about a game that's for ages of 13 and up. Some even start sooner, like 9, 8. Like the audience looks up to the creators for either advice, information, entertainment, or, there be it may, possible friendship, right? And it's one of those things where we need to stay positive. We need to have our opinions, but also be very, I wouldn't say careful, but be more strategic, be more, respectful to people, to, I don't know. It's just like, I know I'm just rambling at this point, and I'm not going to sit here and cut this video. But, I think about, one of the biggest things in corporate America that is sort of a big thing these days is diversity and inclusion. I know I've worked in a business that did diversity and inclusion. It's a huge issue. It's a huge issue. Corporate America is really, really tough for many different people in many different aspects. And it's no different within a community, especially a community of this size. If it was like a community of, 10, 15 people, it's much different. When you're talking about, close to, let's just say, 1 million people, D&I, there it be by race, by color, by orientation, by anything, is very important for us to be able to embrace and at least be respectful to people. Respect the people that you are collaborating with, because even if you're not collaborating with somebody on a video or a project, as a community as a whole, we are collaborating by promoting this game that we love to play. And I'm gonna repeat this, like, one of the things that I said on Twitter, that most of you likely have not seen. But I was really, I kind of got frustrated slightly when this was all happening, because I started seeing people that had zero relation to the situation also getting hammered on with nasty comments and nasty words. Innocent people who had nothing to do with this situation then getting, I wouldn't say, they were just getting flack or basically, being, almost, I don't know the right word to say for it, but people were getting nasty comments said to them or about them who were not even part of the situation. And I think that's completely unfair. And I think, one of the things that I had said, and I'll talk about Travis Wu, because I follow Travis. I'm also part of Travis's mastermind, and I have interacted with Travis on several occasions. But, one of the things that I said in a tweet that I still stick by, because I think this is absolutely true, is when we talk about bullying, bullying is a very strong accusation. Same thing with harassment or attacking. It's a very strong accusation, right? And sometimes that word, harassment, bullying, or stuff like that, is replaced or goes in place of the word inappropriate. And what I mean by that is let's just talk about words that, say, Jane Doe over here says about Joe Doe, right? And Jane says some hurtful words about and sort of directed to Joe. And basically, some people will say, well, he's being harassed. Or is she just being inappropriate? And there's a difference. There's a clear, distinct difference between inappropriate and harassment. And I'll leave you to fill in the blanks of that. And that, my friends, I think is one of the ways that we can distinguish what is what, right? And I think about it this way, right? I don't agree with words that have been said on either side. I think there's a lot of things that could have been done differently, could have been said differently, could have been approached differently. But again, I'm the outsider looking in. I'm not part of that situation. One of the things I also think is people, so one of the things I was saying in here is bullying is a strong accusation. Sometimes gets put in place of inappropriate. I don't agree with Jeremy's words, methods, or tactics. However, to call someone criminal and needing to pay for criticism, then everyone who has criticized anyone or anything should need to pay. And basically what I mean by that is we have oftentimes criticized wizards. Should we have to pay for harassment or pay for attacking or pay for bullying wizards? I mean, it's one of those things where it's a fine line. We have to understand the actual meaning of where that's coming from and how the words need to be interpreted. Because let's face it, we all interpret things differently. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And we all need to figure out how to communicate as adults. I really hope this situation dies down, goes away, and people can get back to their daily. Until next time, I promise will be a much better and different video than this one. I bid you farewell.